Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Roma and Tina. My name is Anna Sylvia, and I'm the owner and the maker behind Roma and Tina. I don't have this scripted at all, so God bless you for sticking around. Godspeed. I tend to ramble, but I did want to sit down and document this experience in a way that I can't really document this in short form. If you follow me over on Instagram and TikTok, then I document. I think my cat's over there playing with my yarn. I saw something move. I think she's fine. Let's see. No, I can see her through the mirror. One second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so as I was saying, over on Instagram and TikTok, I document the projects that I'm working on, and I recently documented me making this Votes for Women capelet that I made for Women's History Month, which we still currently are. It's in March, so we still are in Women's History Month. And I had so much fun making it and documenting the design process, and kind of just that whole process was just really, really fun, and it felt collaborative. I learned a lot about the whole history behind the Votes for Women pins, which maybe I'll do a separate video about that, explaining what those pins are. Basically, these pins were worn by the supporters of the suffragette movement, the movement that gave us women the right to vote in the United States. And as the years went by, more stars were added to the pins. So I recreated the stars through the straps on the capelet. And so one strap has 4 stars, the other has 5, because I think it did eventually get to 10 stars, but I just kind of wanted symbolically to finish it off at 9, because it still represents that there's still work to be done within the women's rights movement. So anyways, that's that. But I did get a couple requests to write a pattern, and I've never written a pattern like that before. The most I've ever done is write, like, not even write them, just create like very small patterns for some of my filet crochet projects, or for my crochet classes. I've written like very simple coaster patterns, bookmark patterns. So I haven't really explored that territory. It's not really something that I ever found myself gravitating towards or really wanting to do. Excuse me. But it was also really, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what that was. There's something going around. It is incredibly hot right now. I live in Southern California, and it is, I think it's like 88 or something right now. And because I'm filming and I don't want the noise of the outside and the fan, I'm just kind of sitting here through it. But it is really, really hot right now. So anyways, and it's just affecting my health. But as I was saying, yeah, I wanted to document that experience of creating my first pattern that I would write from start to finish. I never really gravitated towards pattern writing, just because I'm very much a freestyle type of a person, very much just figure details out as I go. And so I don't always take the detailed notes. I did take notes for this because I needed to make sure that it would fit within the shoulder, my shoulder length, and I didn't want it to pull, spill over. So I did take notes for that. I did a gauge swatch. But this was pretty simple, honestly. This was a very simple pattern. It was just a rectangle. And then I continued on with the straps, and then I just joined and added another strap to the side. And then I did this scalloped border. It was really not that difficult. It was just kind of, the most difficult part was creating the chart and just figuring out how many stitches corresponded, how many letters, how many stitches each letter required, and centering the design. That was the most complicated thing, but I already have that figured out. So now it's just calculating the design and the yarn, and I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. Perhaps I'm overthinking it, but I'm gonna do a series so that if you are a pattern writer, or if you're interested in pattern design as well, then this could be a collaborative experience. So if you are a designer, if you are a designer and you stumble across this video, if you could give me and anybody else any pointers, that would be fantastic. And I would really, really appreciate that, as I'm sure many other people who stumble upon this would. Okay, so now that I am done talking, I'm going to go get some water. Ignore the mess in the background. This is where the magic of the design happens. But yeah, we're going to try to recreate the gauge swatch. I mean, I have the gauge swatch somewhere. I just don't know where it is, and I don't know where my original notes are, but it's okay. I'll use the full length pattern. This is blocked and everything. So it should work, right? That's how pattern writing works. All right. Right, so I'm at my desk now and I don't exactly know where to put you, so you're just kind of hanging out here. But I'm going to measure out the 4 inches for my gauge swatch. I don't know where my notes are. See, this is why I'm not a pattern writer. I'm way too disorganized to be a pattern writer, but I do know how to get a gauge swatch. I know that much. So I'm gonna measure this out. Here we go. And then I have my, so I used size 10 crochet thread for this, and then I used a 2.25 millimeter crochet hook. I'm thinking I may want to go smaller because maybe going small, I mean, I guess it's not a big deal. It's not, I'm happy with it, but I think maybe going smaller might make it stand out a little bit more. I don't know, let me know if it's fine the way it is. But this is the hook that I used for the entire project. And this is the hook that I'm considering, which is a 1.75 millimeter. So let's measure out our gauge swatch. We're just going to use the finished piece because why not? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stitches width. And then the height we're not counting the border for this. We're just counting the stitches. I love mesh stitch. It makes gauge swatches so much easier. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16, 17. Okay, so I have 13 by 17. And then I think my measurement for my shoulder was like 15 inches. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 15 inches. I mean, I could just remeasure my shoulder, but I want to say it was like 15. And I wasn't as concerned. Oh, no, it's not. Is it? No, it's not. It's 11. Oh, why did I think it was 15? It's like 11 and a half. We'll say 11 and a half inches. And then the length was 8. So 11 by 8. So this is how long I want it to be, or the equivalent of. I'm not that concerned with it being like the length. Like I can play around with the length. And this does sit nicely on my shoulder, so I do want to keep that. And then we can worry about the straps later. But so far I have that, and I used size 10 crochet thread, and then I used a 2.25 or a B hook. Okay, so now I got to do some math if I want to change this up, which I don't know if I want to change it up. But okay, now that I have my measurements, I assume I just recreate it. And if I wanted to create a brand new, like a new one, do I, like if I wanted to go smaller, like with the hook size, I just need to get that gauge with it. So it would obviously be more stitches. I don't know, question, before I do that, maybe I'll post this before I do that. Is this fine? I'm going to post a picture of what this looks like when it's worn and it's against like a darker backdrop, but this is what it looks like. Is it fine with that? Do you think if I go smaller, my only reason for going smaller with the hook size is if it would show the letters with a little bit more detail, but I think it's actually fine. I think I'm overthinking it. And then I did a couple changes to the chart. So yes, I guess I would have to do it all over again because I actually did the S a little differently. When I recreated the chart, I did my S a little differently. And I think there was another letter that I did a little differently with the chart once I recreated it and I revised it and made it different or new. So I guess I do have to do it all over again. Hello and welcome back. It's been a few days since we last left off where I was debating whether or not I wanted to change my hook size, and I decided I'm going to stick to the same hook. It's not broken, don't fix it. It worked the first time, so we're just gonna carry on with the same process, right? The same, yeah, like I said, there's no need to change it if it works. So I did my math, and if I did it correctly, I should have 38 mesh blocks to start off with. So that is what we are going to do right now. I'm going to do my starting row, which is 100 and something, I have to go back to the numbers, chains. So the goal, 38 mesh blocks, and then I can breathe, because that means that the rest is just following the chart. I always struggle with this part of the project when I'm working with filet crochet, because even though I do my math correctly, when you're working with such fine thread, it's easy sometimes to skip over chains or miss them. I've had this issue so many times, but I'm confident that it will work the first time. Mathed. I have 38 mesh stitches. Perfect. So from here, it's just following the chart. So I'm gonna do that. I think this is a good place to end today's video. Next time, I'm hoping to have the panel all done. This is honestly the easy part. Then now I have to just, after that, calculate how to talk about the straps. So that made sense. Sorry, this process is so meditative for me right now. I just feel like I just came out of like a nap or something. I just kind of got lost in working in the meshes, so it's hard for me to really explain what I'm trying to say. Next time I'll have more progress. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned if you want to know how this pattern writing turns out, and let me know what you thought, if you have any suggestions that would make this smoother and easier, and I'll see you next time. Bye.